Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, JC, and welcome back to my channel once again. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys another Zombies Backfire Episode 2. And if you don't know what this series is, basically what I'm doing in today's video is I'm taking your guys' comments on random videos that have been previously uploaded on my channel. So a lot of the recent videos on my channel, in the comment sections, I take some of your guys' comments and I talk about them. It could be on any one of my videos that I have posted. It's sort of a spin-off series of things people say, except you guys don't know when I'm taking your guys' comments. You guys don't know when your voice will be heard. So that's why you gotta always leave comments on my videos. You guys know I love that, and I'll always feature you guys in videos like this. And of course, the Things People Say videos where I give you guys a topic beforehand. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. For today's episode, I'm taking comments from my MAXIS radio video, as well as comments on defending Zetsubou no Shima, and just to see what your guys' opinions are on all this sort of stuff. Almost Funny says on the MAXIS video, I hope we can see MAXIS as a real physical being in DLC 4. Great video, keep up the great, amazing work. Thank you so much, man. But honestly, I really want this to happen. I think it's going to happen. I think Treyarch has been planning this for a very, very long time, and that they're gonna finally show MAXIS in real time in a CGI cutscene or whatever they do. I don't think it's CGI actually, I think they render out the cutscenes, but I do think they're planning to show MAXIS in some way for the very last DLC. Like, I feel like that's what they've been culminating MAXIS' story to lead up to and be, especially because we didn't see him in the Origins cutscene as well, and all this sort of stuff with DLC 4 seems to be revolved around the Origins ending cutscene. It's a pretty safe bet we're gonna see MAXIS in real time, and it's gonna be amazing. So I really hope that happens as well. Lust Monkey, what a crazy name, says, this one is wild, but I think MAXIS is in heaven. He talks about his hands being all clean and not damaged at all, thinking that heaven is perfect. The man at the door is supposedly God, leading him to the future of a new beginning. MAXIS says the man seems like he's not real and seems like he shouldn't be with him as well. And I wanted to include this comment because I thought it was very interesting that somebody has an opinion that it's just really different. Like, I've never heard this before. I've never heard this idea that the house and everything is like a heaven-like place. Like, I've sort of thought about it in that way, I guess. Like, it's outside of all these timelines. It's outside of all these dimensions, this whole universe. It's outside, like, it's just floating, you know what I mean? Like, it's this single point where everything could possibly be perfect, but we know it's not perfect. So I don't know if it's heaven. I don't know what exactly this all means, and we still don't know what it means, but I just thought this was a very interesting take on it, because we don't know who the man is at the door, who's knocking on the door in the radio. We don't know who's contacting MAXIS, and a lot of people think it's Dr. Monty. A lot of people think it's, you know, it could be possibly Richtofen somehow. And, you know, I don't really know. There's no possible way of knowing, but I just thought this was a very interesting take on the radio. So let's go ahead and get into the next comment, where Aiden Groves says, what if we kill MAXIS in DLC 4? And this is something I've been thinking about a lot as well. When you really think about the zombie storyline and you think about all the characters that would need saving, like all the integral characters in our storyline, it's our main crew, then MAXIS and Samantha. So maybe in DLC 4, that's the plan. That's what we have to do in DLC 4, is save MAXIS and Samantha. But the weird thing about that is that the MAXIS that we hear in the radios is sort of like outside, like I've said before, outside of all these universes in this point, in this, I don't even really know what the house is. It's sort of like traveling through dimensions or something like that. At least that's the impression that I have from it. So I don't know if he's already sort of saved because he's outside of everything and he's just trying to guide our characters to save the universe. I'm not totally sure, but I could totally see this happening, especially if we get a reveal of MAXIS in DLC 4 and we see his full body, you know, in the freaking awesome cutscene. It'd be awesome. It sounds really weird saying I want to see MAXIS' full body, but you know what I mean. Like, I want to see this man in his full form, dude. Like, I've been waiting so long. MAXIS is my favorite character, and I think that'd be really cool, honestly, if we have to save MAXIS in the same way as our other characters. Moving on to the next comment, DurRheingator27 says, the last radio makes it sound like Richtofen is MAXIS' son. I'm gonna play this radio for you guys right now.
Samantha has been returned to me once more, as have you, Edvard, as have you.
This is a very interesting take on the Origins cutscene. I remember when I first saw this cutscene, you know, back at the end of 2013, you know, seeing these two children together, it looked like to me that Eddie was more like Samantha's friend that was just there hanging out at the house. But it might not be that. It might not be that at all. And it might actually be MAXIS' son, especially in these radios. He says that, you know, Edward, you were returned to me just like Samantha was. You know, like he talks about Eddie in the same way that he talks about Samantha, and it's just a really weird thing. We don't know the exact answer to this. We don't know how MAXIS would have a son, if this is his son in some way. This is obviously a different form of Richtofen. It's not exactly the same Richtofen. I'm not entirely sure how this all fits and how it all revolves around this Origins cutscene, but, you know, it's a very interesting idea. I could definitely see them possibly doing this in some way. Of course, in our original timeline, it does not make sense in any way, but maybe this child outside of all these universes is his son in some way. I don't know, man. Like, we've had, you know, in Origins, we had MAXIS not even knowing that he had a daughter because Samantha wasn't his daughter in the Origins dimension. So, just a lot of weird stuff going on, and I don't really know the answer to all of these things. Now, the final comments I'm going to be talking about is a bunch of comments that were on the Defending Zetsubo no Shima video, where I basically said, why is everybody hating on this map? It's not that bad, it's actually pretty good, and the challenge is a good thing. So here's a comment from Squeezy, and he says, this is why I think Treyarch are a bunch of geniuses. Let's look at the order of the map so far. The Giant is an easy setup. SOE is a harder setup. Drak is an easy setup, and ZNS, or Zetsubo no Shima, is a harder setup. If this pattern continues, it will please both people who like simplicity and complexity. I think the people who like simplicity have strong opinions. Don't worry if you're a fan of ZNS, don't let the others change your opinion. This is a very awesome comment, and it makes a lot of sense. We're not always going to have an easy map, guys. We're not always going to have a map where you can just get a bow and shoot at the ground to get to round 50, okay? At this point, I think most of you guys know my opinions on Drak and why I personally thought the map was a little too easy for my tastes. But that's just the thing, right? It's my taste, and I think Treyarch is obviously trying to set up Black Ops 3 in a way that sort of has an awesome experience for everybody. You have your easy maps, you have your harder maps, and you have your maps with some crazy, you know, unique elements like Zetsubo no Shima that some people aren't going to like. It's just a thing. Some people will not like them. So don't worry if you guys like the map and other people are hating on it. Don't be afraid to like the map. Don't be afraid to like what you like, and also don't be afraid to complain about stuff and also, you know, voice your opinion on things. If you don't like something in a map, don't be afraid to also challenge the things and elements in the map as well. We need this conversation always. It's a very healthy thing for the zombies community. However, joining on the bandwagons of hate or the bandwagons of loving the map is a bad thing. Form your own opinions about the map. Form your own tastes about Black Ops 3 Zombies, and at the end of the day, that's much better than just joining in on a bandwagon of hate and just complaining about a map for no reason other than just to complain about it, really. Our next comment comes from JC Garcia. I love the JC, by the way. I completely agree, and I actually like how there is a lot of stuff to do on Zetsubo no Shima because it does make the map challenging, and that's what people wanted. Everybody wanted a challenging map, and they were saying that Zombies was becoming too easy, and we got it, and now everybody is complaining. That's very, very true. I don't think everyone on Earth was complaining about Drak and how easy it was. I do think a lot of people loved Drak. I think if you did a poll at the time of when Drak came out of how many people loved the map, I think most people would say it's an awesome map, and it was really great. But there are a lot of people that were saying that Drak was too easy, myself included. I thought the map was just a little too easy for my tastes. And now that Treyarch has changed it up and basically done what I wanted them to do in the map, a lot of people are complaining, and I'm just sitting here like, thank you, Treyarch. Thank you for listening to me and making a map that I wanted to see. And people are just complaining, man. They're complaining too much, and I don't really understand what's the fun of just complaining about zombies, you know, so on and so forth. We gotta be happy sometimes, man. We gotta be happy. To wrap up the episode, guys, our last comment comes from Ollie, and he says, it doesn't fit my taste of a map. It's not bad, it's just not my sort of thing. And then this guy, a name that is a little too long, I love that name, by the way, says, I like people like you who just say that instead of saying it's horrible and they would rather play Transit or something. Some people just need to grow up. And this is a very good point, guys. At the end of the day, if you don't like the map, don't just sit here and ridicule it and just say it's the worst thing ever, because at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna get another map in DLC 3. We're gonna get another map in DLC 4 if you don't like DLC 3. And just overall, it's one map out of so many maps in our zombie storyline, in our zombies mode, and it's gonna fit some people's tastes and it's gonna fit others not so much. So that wraps up the second episode of Zombies Backfire. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I plan to make this series a little bit more frequent than usual. I know it's been forever since the last episode, but I plan for this series to be very important on this channel going forward, and maybe not as frequent as Things People Say, but maybe just a little bit longer in between episodes than Things People Say. I want it to be an almost weekly thing if I can do it, especially if I'm putting out a lot of videos during the week and we get a lot of comments on those videos. And basically, guys, just make sure to always comment on my videos and you have a chance to be in this episode. And of course, the Things People Say videos are a whole nother thing entirely of itself. Once again, I really want to thank you guys just so much for all the support you guys have given me on this channel lately. It's been absolutely incredible. And I want you guys to tell me in the comments below, do you want a face cam on this Zombies Backfire series? Because originally I started it without a face cam because I wanted it to be different from Things People Say and more fast. But now that Lex is on Things People Say, I think it'd be cool if I add a face cam to this series as well, where it's just me. So, you know, tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you think I should have a face cam on future episodes of this series, or should I just keep it like this and you don't want to see my face because I'm ugly or something? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. You guys know I'll read the comments as always. And just honestly, guys, again, thank you guys so much for everything. This has been JC, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.